So I was thinking more about this whole idea of movement with intent or just spontaneous movement. So that's like adding structure, or hey, I'm going to do this 10 times, 10 reps of 10, or whatever it is, with a really specific focus versus just like running around playing, or maybe different combinations, or different, like, I'm going to stretch my legs, but I'm just going to like think about them today. And I was remember when I was in school at UC Davis, and I was involved in all this kind of alternative performance stuff. And this guy, I don't remember his name, but he was this like big, tall, like super in shape, like long blonde hair guy. He was like, he had been in the Air Force. He was like like pretty like high up in the Air Force, and then somehow he got all like hippie or whatever. And he was like the lover or consort of this lady who ran like a big dance theater group in town. And I guess they like, I don't know, at the time they weren't like seeing each other, but anyway, like I got to know him, and he was like, yeah, you want to learn about all this like movement stuff that I do? And I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds cool. And I guess he and this other lady, they went to Bali for like, I don't know, a summer or a bunch of time, and hung out on the beach and studied with this like, I don't know, Taoist teacher who was teaching them all this kind of, spiritual movement stuff. And anyway, like it was kind of fun. Like we hung out and went out to the Arboretum in Davis and just like moved around, and he told me all about the stuff they learned. And then we did this like spontaneous movement show thing with like a bunch of other really like famous, sort of not famous, but like really kind of well-known artists, like a drummer, I think, a percussionist, and a strings guy. And then and it was cool. Like it really wasn't even that exciting, but it was just kind of memorable. And the fact that you'll be like, wow, I did this weird thing. And anyway, he was yeah, he taught me all this stuff. And he was the one thing that really stood out was this kind of idea that he called like the source and the movement. And I think the idea is like the movement is, hey, I'm gonna like do 10 reps of 10. And like the movement begins with an intent, and the source, and then you move. Essentially the movement is based on a structured intent, and then the source is just kind of like more like raw movement, and then that turns into like some kind of form over time. It's a lot of it's kind of yin yang stuff, but those were like the two different main ideas. That sometimes you move with intent and like a definitive structure, and sometimes you just kind of let the source move you. So anyway, it was cool. And then yeah, it was fun. And then my friend Lonnie was like, after I hung out with him for a while, Lonnie was like, so did he ask you to sleep with him? And I was like, no, like I never even thought of it that way at all. And Lonnie was like, really? I'm a little surprised. And I was like, thought never crossed my mind.